Our breaking news from the top of this broadcast. Late this afternoon, we have learned that former President Jimmy Carter now is in hospice care. He is 98 years of age, the 39th President of the United States. The Carter Center says that after a series of short hospital stays, Mr. Carter has decided to spend his remaining time at his home with his family instead of receiving medical intervention. The Carter Center also adds that he has the full support of his medical team and family.
We begin tonight with new developments involving the health of former President Jimmy Carter.
His foundation announced today that he's back home receiving hospice care. Alexis McAdams has the latest on the oldest living president in U.S. history.
Former President Jimmy Carter will no longer seek medical treatment following a series of hospital stays. In a statement, the Carter Center says the beloved 98-year-old, quote, decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention. He has the full support of his family and his medical team. The Carter family asking for privacy during this time and is grateful for the concern shown by his many admirers. Carter is the oldest living president in U.S. history. He was elected the 39th president in 1976 after defeating incumbent Republican Gerald Ford. After leaving office, he and his wife Rosalynn devoted their lives to humanitarian efforts. They founded the Carter Center to promote human rights and advance public health across the world.
They believed in public service, and I hope they inspire people to take time to know who they are, in the case of President Carter, and inspire future generations to realize public service matters.
The former president has also spent much of his time outside of office building houses with Habitat for Humanity.
We always feel much more grateful after a week of work at Habitat, and sometimes the work is very hot and hard. But we always feel like we get more out of it than we put into it.
In recent years, he dealt with a series of health issues, including beating brain cancer in 2015. Former President Jimmy Carter advocated for world peace and human rights throughout his career. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002.
Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter is in palliative care at home following a series of trips to hospital. The former U.S. president's overcome a cancer battle as well as a broken hip and bleeding on the brain. The Carter Center, his not-for-profit, says the former US president made the decision to spend his remaining time at home alongside his wife and family.
This is a News 2 breaking news alert.
Breaking tonight, former President Jimmy Carter has entered home hospice care. According to a Twitter page run by his charity organization, the 98-year-old former president will spend time at home with his family and receive care instead of additional medical intervention. The Democrat became the 39th U.S. president, serving a single term before being defeated by Republican Ronald Reagan in 1980. In 2019, President Carter visited Nashville during a Habitat for Humanity event.
We begin with breaking news tonight. Former President Jimmy Carter is now in home hospice care. The Carter Center says after a series of short hospital stays, the 98-year-old has decided to, quote, spend his remaining time at home with his family instead of receiving additional medical care. The charity, run by Carter and his wife Rosalynn, says the former president has full support from his medical team. He served in the White House from 1977 to 1981.